What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we back for some more of that Ali Land boxing talk, people. And today we talking Manny Pacquiao says his best is yet to come. Just a little update, Manny Pacquiao update. His fight is getting real close, y'all, and Manny Pacquiao seems to be hard at work training. I don't believe he's left the Philippines yet to come to America to start training. But he's hard at work in the Philippines. I believe he's wrapped up all his Senate work, so he doesn't have that in the way. So it's full steam ahead to the Adrien Broner fight. As far as this topic of Manny Pacquiao's best being yet to come, I feel like by him making that statement, he's maybe talking about extending his career a little bit past the Mayweather fight, possibly, if the Mayweather fight's actually going to happen. It's supposed to be official as long as he wins the Broner fight, but nobody really knows. We're not sure what I know that the contract with Manny Pacquiao is not an actual 2-fight deal. What everybody's been saying is actually a partnership deal. So we don't actually know how many fights Manny Pacquiao is actually going to have under the PBC banner. If it's actually a 1-fight deal, a 2-fight deal, or if he's just an independent contractor per se for as far as a boxer goes for PBC. And as far as his best being yet to come, there's a lot of fighters at the PBC. So there's a lot of potential for matchups for him as long as he wins. The Mayweather fight is supposedly down the road, as long as he wins. Let's talk about this for a second. Even with a potential loss, even with a loss, his name is so big, I feel like they would still promote Manny Pacquiao there just as a cash cow. Let's keep it real. Even if he lost to Adrien Broner, that I don't think PBC would let him go if they have him under contract, because there's too much to gain off of Pacquiao fighting such and such, or Pacquiao fighting so and so. So either way it goes, I feel like Pacquiao might be fighting for another year or two. With him saying that. As far as athletically, strength-wise, Justin Fortune's been very vocal about how he feels about Pacquiao's conditioning and his strength and his how he's been holding up as far as getting older. And so that's a plus. He's been praising Pacquiao, saying he's in some of the best shape of his life. Freddie Roach is now back in Pacquiao's corner, so a lot of good things are lining up, as well as Boo Boy. So a lot of good things are lining up for Pacquiao as far as his camp being solid. Team Pacquiao being really solid. I just feel like I wish there was more. I wish there was more to be said about his contract. I'm not sure why it's so secretive. I kind of do, because I think he's trying to leave the door open for retirement in case of a loss. So let's say he does lose to Adrien Broner, then that gives him a chance to say, you know what, I'm actually done. I don't want to fight anymore. I'll just go ahead and retire, you know what I'm saying? So instead of signing a 2-fight deal, maybe he would just sign a, like I said, an independent deal to where he re-ups after every fight. And I feel like the potential of the Mayweather fight, even with a loss, is still there because there's so much money on the table. Even if he was to lose to Adrien Broner, and I'm not saying he is, I'm just throwing potentials out there. Surrounding this topic, even if he did, there's so much money on the table surrounding that Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch, I kind of feel like it would still happen, whether it would be as a super fight, considered a super fight at that point, I don't know. But I do feel like there's still enough money on the table even with the Adrien Broner loss, and it's attracted so much fanfare that the Mayweather fight could potentially still be on the table even with a loss. So there's a lot of potentials on the table for Manny Pacquiao just because his name is so huge. His name almost makes it to where he can't retire. He can't leave the sport of boxing because his name. He's done so much for the sport of boxing. He's so entertaining as a boxer. He's one of a kind as a boxer. He's a cash cow as a boxer. It's just a lot surrounding his name. So, I just kind of feel like he's gonna be around for a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? Even with a loss and a potential for a Mayweather rematch, I think he still might be around for a year or two. Now, people are going to take that and run with it and say, well, if that's the case, then he must really be having bad tax problems. He need money. He only doing it for the money. Well, everybody's fighting for the money. If you boxing, you're not boxing because you like getting punched in the face. You boxing because you're getting a paycheck for it. So whether he's doing it for the money or not, it really don't matter. As a fan, I would like to see him around for as long as possible, as long as he's winning. You know what I'm saying? I never want to see him be one of those guys who gets punch drunk. Pacquiao. I like him so much as a fighter and a person, as a humanitarian, that I don't want to see him as a punch drunk fighter. And I think he's smart enough to know when it's time to bow out, when it's time to just say, that's enough. It's time to hang it up. I can't wait for this fight. It's going to be a huge fight. A lot of fans are looking forward to this fight. A lot of trash being talked. A lot of, ish being talked about Adrien Broner. So, this is a big fight, man. We all gotta realize that these are the golden days of our era in boxing. There's not going to be too many more great opportunities to see Manny Pacquiao fight. We're getting to the end of the road as Pacquiao fans, as boxing fans. When it comes to classic fights, no, boxing's not going the way we were brought up on. It's not going back to the old style of fighting, to where guys are really giving their all in every fight, and guys are doing it just for the love of the sport. The guys ain't doing it like that no more. So much money involved with boxing that it's like all sports. It's more, let me do just enough to get through it, and just enough not to get hurt, so I can get this paycheck and move on to the next one. Because everybody seems to be, whether you're a basketball player, you want to get to the championship game, you don't want to get hurt before it. If you're a football player, you want to make it to the Super Bowl, you don't want to have the potential of being hurt before it. You can go any sport. Baseball players, they play hundreds of games a year. Hockey players, everybody wants to be in that big arena and on that big stage. So even in wrestling, all those guys are claiming, fighting to get to the top position. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's fake or not. In every sport, anything that's athletic, you're always striving to get to the highest spot. And it seems like boxing is different because it's a solo sport. There's no teams, there's nobody else, it's just you. So it's easier to be greedy in boxing, put it that way. And there's so many dirty hands involved in boxing that it's hard to get what you really want out of boxing there, especially now when there's so much money surrounding these fights, and you got shady promoters, you got TV networks that want to make the most off of advertising, you got boxers who want multi-millions of dollars, up into the hundreds of millions of dollars per fight, and you got trainers, and you got all these entourages. And all the way down here at the bottom, at the low man of the totem pole, is the fans, And at the end of the day, we're the ones who keep these people in business, but we're the only ones who's not getting what we want from the sports. And it's not even just from the fights. You're not even getting what you want from the boxing commentators anymore. You're not getting real commentating. You're just getting, you're not getting real opinions. You're just getting the opinion of what they're being paid to tell you. So it's, you know, all around, you know, the sport of boxing is hurting. And at the end of the day, you know, we got to be thankful that we getting fights like this to, you know, bail some of these fighters out with. Hopefully we'll get a few more out of Pacquiao. Hopefully we'll get a few more classic fighters before the end of our times and our days or whatever. So that's Ali Land Boxing Talk for now, man. Make sure y'all leave me a comment down below. Hit the description box. Check out all the boxing gear I got in there for you. Tell your mama, tell your dog, tell your cat, the homeless guy down the street, we out of here.